Alright guys, what's up? It's Alpha Heavy Gamer. I'm back again with another video, and today the topic is the R-77. Is it useless in BVR? And I also want to talk about those waffle iron fins that you see hanging off the back of the missile. So it seems to be underperforming compared to missiles like the M120 AMRAAM, especially in the BVR realm. So why is this the case? So Vimpel, the manufacturer of the R-77, made some design choices that resulted in the missile looking notably different. Instead of using the conventional planar fins like the AMRAAM does, and many other missiles by the way, the R-77 uses lattice fins, also known as grid fins or waffle iron fins like I call them. Now I want to discuss these fins and what they're for and how they impact BVR performance. Alright, so to explore this, I was just playing the game like everybody else. I was playing many games with the R-77, many games with the AMRAAMs, and just noting, how the missiles act. So what I want to do before I get into the rest of this is to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not an aeronautical engineer, I'm not a physicist, I'm not anything like that. I'm none of those things. I'm just a dude on the internet playing the game. And also all the information that I'm talking about on the R-77, it's all open source and all freely available on the internet. These opinions are my own. So before I get to the comparisons of, the R-77 and the AMRAAM, I want to explain what lattice fins are and what they're supposed to do. So lattice fins on the R-77, or, also known as the grid fins, they serve a critical purpose that enhances the missile's performance and maneuverability. So number one, specifically, they do enhance maneuverability. Lattice fins provide superior control and maneuverability, especially at high angles of attack. This is crucial during the terminal phase of the flight. When the missile is closing in on a target, it may need to make rapid, sharp turns to maintain its course or to evade countermeasures. Number two, reduced aerodynamic drag. Compared to traditional planar fins, lattice fins generate less aerodynamic drag at high speeds. This reduction in drag helps maintain the missile's velocity, ensuring it can reach and engage targets effectively. So I'll come back to these later on, number one and number two here. So number three, increased stability. Lattice fins provide better stability and control over a wide range of speeds and altitudes. This ensures that the missile remains on its intended flight path and can accurately engage and track highly maneuverable targets. So number four, performance in diverse conditions. The design of the lattice fin allows the R-77 to perform well in various flight conditions, including high-speed chases and lower-speed dogfights. This versatility makes the missile effective in different combat scenarios. I'll also come back to this a little bit later in the conclusion. And the last one here is effectiveness at high angles of attack. Traditional control surfaces can lose effectiveness at high angles of attack due to airflow separation. Lattice fins maintain control authority even when the missile is maneuvering aggressively, ensuring it can continue to track and engage targets effectively. Alright, so sure I said a lot there, but the question remains, is it good at BVR or not? Can it beat an AMRAAM or not? So in conclusion, the lattice fins on the R-77 missile, they're a distinctive and innovative feature that significantly enhances its performance in both subsonic and supersonic realms. So from this, you can infer that the missile is better suited for close-in dogfighting at high off-boreside angles than for BVR, meaning that the R-77 should provide better maneuverability, reduce drag, increase stability, and effectiveness at high angles of attack. It's just the bottom line here is it's really more of a dogfighting missile, and you have to adjust your playstyle to that reality. Also, the R-77 has a problem with transonic drag due to the lattice fins. The R-77 performs well at subsonic and supersonic engagements like I've been talking about, but it gets really problematic at transonic speeds due to the excessive drag because of the lattice fin design. It's really not advisable to joust against an AMRAAM carrying foe at ranges exceeding 16 kilometers, as your R-77 can be kinematically defeated rather easily. So if you're watching this video and you made it this far, you probably already know the conclusion here. But the AMRAAM just really beats out the R-77 every time. In my experience playing, my comparisons were a blend of live gameplay and also went to the test range and took some controlled shots with cooperative targets. meaning that those targets weren't evading and they weren't using countermeasures. A 30-kilometer distance at about 5,000 meters and above Mach 1, the AMRAAM proved superior every time. It still had plenty of energy at the end game, whereas the R-77s were almost about to fall out of the sky. If it hadn't been a cooperative target, it just would have missed. For funsies, I did similar tests with the Mika EM. I think I'm saying that right. Some people were clowning me because I said Micah, but Mika, if that's what it's supposed to be. But those results also were about the same. The no escape zone for the R-77, especially on the live server, playing around, it seems to really be about 5 to 6 kilometers, but that requires more data. So if you still remain unconvinced and you're like, actually the lattice fin design is superior, it really is worth noting that even later variants of the R-77 dropped the lattice fin design for a more conventional planar fin, and no other missile manufacturers that I were able to find have embraced the lattice fin design. The planar fin's main advantage is that it just works for most flight regimes. Its advantage is its low drag at most speeds, while its main trade-off is less maneuverability, especially at high angles of attack. But that seems like a trade-off that most air forces are willing to accept. Alright, so I don't want to make the video too long, but the real bottom line here is the R-77 is not going to win in a BVR match against someone carrying AMRAAM. It's more of a dogfighting missile, and even then, it's a little bit sus even when you're trying to use it for dogfights. I've had it just miss inside of 16 kilometers, even inside of 10 kilometers, just like really for no reason. Like the guy wasn't notching me at all. It just misses. But yeah, that's just the way it is. I can only speak for how the missile performs in the game. This is all game world talk. I know there's the real world, but this is the game world, and I can only talk to how these missiles perform in the game. All right, guys, if you got any comments or questions, just throw them at me. I will try to respond to as many as I can. I appreciate you watching to the end, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.